This episode of Action Figure Wishlist, we're doing something a little off cuff. We're doing Kevin Smith's ViewAskew universe. Not your normal toy line, but still. Let's talk about 5 things we want out of it. Hello, everybody. This is DJ from Fan Man Podcast, or as Kevin Smith would say, die! Thanks for swinging by and checking out Action Figure Wishlist today. Anyone who listens to the podcast, number 1, thank you. Appreciate it. Number 2, if you're not, do it, please. We're all huge Kevin Smith fans. We go to all the shows, we buy all the chuffa, we've seen all the movies, we read all the comics, etc., etc. He's basically our favorite human. So take this all with a grain of salt. He's had a whole bunch of different plastic versions of his stuff before. You have the graffiti and action figures, which were great back in the day. Diamond did some figures, mainly back when Toys R Us was around. You had Mallrats and Clerks, and they did reboot ones. Oh, they did ones for Strike Back too. So actually, they've done a lot of Diamond ones. But also, the heavy hitter is the Funko Pops. Funko and him have a pretty good relationship. There's been a whole bunch of different versions of Kevin. The guys from Comic Book Man, Chainsaw Bob, Mooby, Iron Bob, etc. So, not something we're planning on really doing a whole lot here on the show, but we're going to do top 5 Funkos. Just because if we are going to get more characters, Funko Pops are probably the way to go. Even though, as I'm kind of like a recovering Funko guy, I kind of stopped buying them, except for maybe the Kevin stuff, just because it just got so out of hand. But for the purpose of this exercise, we're going to go Funko Pops. So, once again, I know this isn't both Kevin stuff and Funko aren't for everybody, but this is kind of like a special thing. So you might be asking, why am I doing an episode on Kevin Smith stuff? Well, like I just said, number 1, we love the guy. We adore him. But number 2, the trailer just dropped for Clerks 3. So Clerks 3 is coming out this fall. There's a couple Fathom events for it, and he's going to be taking the movie on tour. So if you're interested in seeing it, you can go to clerksconvenience.com or just Google Clerks Convenience Tour. Find the dates so you can see the movie, and you'll come out and do a Q&A. And we did it for Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. It's a lot of fun. And, it's always a good crowd. And it's always a good time. But with Clerks 3 coming out, I figured, it's time to now expand on the characters. So, number 5. First character I want in Funko Pop form. It's going to be Elias. So, the problem with Funko Pops is, unless the character has some kind of feature that makes them different from just a dude, really hard to tell what they are sometimes because they're so simplistic. But with Elias, you do Clerks 2, so he's got the Mooby shirt, the apron, the visor with the horns, very easy to pick out. You could do a chase or an exclusive when he's holding up an onion ring, which would be hilarious, or you could do him with a little Optimus Prime figure, or something that looks like Optimus Prime because of copyright and all that, or just something like that. It'd be kind of cool. Probably the onion ring's the way to go, but I just think, it would make for a cool figure. I mean, I have the movies one, and the movies packaging pops. So you just put in the movies packaging or make a Clerks 2 packaging and just do Elias. Okay, number 4, deep dive here. So on top of all these characters that Kevin's created for his universe, there's characters within that universe that the characters like. And I don't think there's a character that's been created for his stuff that's cooler than Ranger Danger. Ranger Danger is Randall's favorite fictional character. You don't really hear much about him. He makes a joke about him here or there. Beat the pants off Ranger Danger any day. He wears a Ranger Danger t-shirt, but that's pretty much all you know. If you pay close attention, on the screen in Clerks 3, in one of the TVs, there's a quick piece of Ranger Danger animation. My buddy Mike did that because he's a huge Ranger Danger guy. So hopefully we get more in the original Clerks 3 script reading. I don't know how much I can say, but Ranger Danger is very prevalent in that. Unfortunately, they didn't transfer as much over to the new one. But still, could be really cool. He's kind of like a Buck Rogers kind of deal. I take it. But again, like I said, a Ranger Danger Funko Pop would look dope because you get the little space guy, the orange and blue color scheme, give him a special box design. It would just be cool. Okay, number 3, Metatron from Dogma. The late, great Alan Rickman already has a Funko Pop. He's got a Hans Gruber one. But if you ask 100 Kevin Smith fans their favorite movie, you're probably going to get Dogma by like 80 of them, 75, 80 of them. And Rickman was a huge part of that. He was a phenomenal actor, just absolutely phenomenal. Metatron's an awesome character. And again, you could do a normal version with the wings, and you could do a chase version or an exclusive version. Maybe when he's got the pants pulled down with like the Kenan anatomy, that'd be kind of funny. But if you're going to start doing Dogma Pops, because you did Dogma figures. They did Dogma and action figures. They did Loki and Bartleby already. You have no Rickman figure, so it's time. Number 2. So again, we're talking a lot about Clerks 3 in this one. These two are the originals. They're 2A, they're 2B. I couldn't separate them. Dante and Randall, the 2 original Kevin Smith characters, need pops. They need plastic versions. Whether you do original ones, whether you do them in their Clerks 3 stuff, which is probably most likely, put them in the smocks or whatever, Brian and Jeff need toys. I mean, they're both great guys. Not only that, if you were to pick them up, there's a very decent chance you could go to a convention in your area and get them signed. If you ever wanted to meet the 2 guys, they're both awesome dudes. They're amazing. So it's time. Give Dante and Randall Funko Pops. They had in-action figures and they've had diamond figures, but still, just Funko Pops is the way things are going now. And you can't even like the diamond figures, you can't get them in good shape anymore. The in-action figures, the cards were weird shape. The cards didn't hold up very well. So if you're like a mint in package kind of person, you'd probably want Dante and Randall Funko Pops. Okay, number one. There's a whole bunch of people I'm leaving out, obviously. I mean, whether it's Mr. Fenning or LaFours or, whoever. I mean, I can't even name them. Becky from Clerks. I mean, Veronica, Uncle Chewy's. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people that everyone should get pops eventually. Or figures something. I want all these characters to have things. Whether it's a new kind of figure, a Funko Pop, or bobbleheads, or whatever. I want plastic for all of them. But by far, the number 1 character from a Kevin Smith movie that needs to have a Funko Pop and needs their own piece of plastic, it's me. Okay, so just know, I was in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. I was lucky enough to have Kevin invite me down, and I'm on camera for 3.5 seconds. So, of course, like every other alien in Star Wars, what do you do when you're on camera for 3.5 seconds? You get a toy. I don't have my toy yet. I don't know why. They haven't called me. But in all seriousness, the number 1 character I want a Funko Pop for is Banky Edwards from Chasing Amy. Love Jason Lee. Huge Lee guy. Banky, slight edge over Brody. I just think Banky's hilarious. He's such a dick. And that whole attitude that he carries throughout the movie is just great. Plus, again, he'd make an awesome pop. Because you could have, like, the pen in his hand, in the backwards hat, and the jacket, and the beard, and the whole night. So you can look at that and go, oh, that's Jason Lee from Chasing Amy. Whereas Brody's just a little more there's no special characteristic on him besides like the jacket, in the shirt, obviously. So again, that's just me. Like I said, you can make, everyone has their own top 5 list. I'm sure if you ask a bunch of us Kevin Smith people, you're going to get a lot of Dogma people. You're going to get, Tracy Morgan, Will Ferrell. I mean, who knows what you're going to get. So again, my top 5 Kevin Smith ViewAskew characters I would want turned into Funko Pops are Elias from Clerks 2, Ranger Danger, Alan Rickman from Dogma, Dante and Randall, and me, or Banky Edwards. So everyone, thanks for stopping by and listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment, good, bad, or otherwise. Hit the bell for notifications for new episodes. If you want to listen to the audio show, Fan Men Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. And thank you very much. Have a good night.